that's a church van. Get a lot of the congregation in there. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, quite possibly on the worst road ever created in Mississippi. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's TheDailyWoo. Look at this! Look at this! Oh! Holy cow! It's TheDailyWoo! Right across this fallen down fence through the woods sits something very, very interesting. There are remnants of a recreation of the Mississippi River. The sheer size of this is very impressive. Some of the leftover mechanical aspects, and at one time this was filled with water flowing all through here. You can see how it just winds all through this wooded area. You have to tread lightly when walking because there are protruding rocks sticking up out of the ground, and they jab into the bottom of the soles of your feet. Ow! It seems to never end. It winds its way through all these trees and shrubs. They definitely put a lot of detail into this. It always blows my mind what exists in the most random places. It appears the way it was put together was in pieces. So this one is labeled one piece, that's another piece, that's another piece, and they must have brought them in piece by piece and laid them down in the correct locations of each spot. How much do you think something like this cost when they first created it? Any ideas?
I'm not sure.
The last time water flowed through here was 1973. I bet in its heyday this place must have been quite the sight to see. Be very quiet. Jacob's reenacting the water movement. It's even built to signify the low-lying river areas with the elevated land areas. I think the best way to show the sheer size of this place is to take the drone up in the air and get a bird's eye view of how much acreage and land this Mississippi River scale model really encompasses. This is amazing. This is something you definitely do not see on a daily basis. If there's one word I would use to describe this, it would be majestic. And there's even this rusty platform that leads to a fire tower that gives you a little bit of an overlook. I think at one point the observation tower made sense, but now the whole area is so overgrown, you can't really see anything on the ground floor from up here. Here is yet another overlook area, and that makes sense because this is the biggest open section. Look at this. The Mississippi, the mighty Miss, the old man, deep river. This is not something I thought I would see out here. Slightly terrifying, a burnt to a crisp robotic demon. Look at that face. That's terrifying. We came pretty close to running out of gas. Luckily, to the rescue was this place. It's called the Pit Stop, and I have a funny story from my childhood. When I was just a little boy, my family and I would travel. My dad and I made up this song, and it went like this. Going to the pit stop, 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 and we're gonna get some pop, 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 and we're gonna go potty, 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 potty at the pit stop. It's a true story. And they also have surge, which is a good thing. Found another set of the crosses. Just down the road from the Claiborne County rubbish pit. I know it's just another word for landfill, but I kind of like rubbish pit better. I'm getting a little hungry. And this place, I think this place is as good a place as any to grab a bite to eat. It appears as if you walk underneath her dress through the front door and into the diner itself. I think we should go inside. Check it out. And supposedly the blueberry lemonade here is to die for. It looks pretty good. Oh yeah. Tart and tangy. The food has arrived. I got the Reuben sandwich with extra potato salad. And what'd you get?
Some roast beef.
It looks pretty good. The soup is pretty good, full of lots of delicious veggies. And according to the waitress, the banana caramel pie is absolutely incredible. So I'm about to indulge myself. Yeah. That's good. Lots of bananas, lots of caramel, and lots of whipped cream. All right, that was good. The guy just asked for Alka-Seltzer in there. You can see where the gas pumps used to be. And originally it was just this front building. And then as time went on, they expanded the restaurant around to the back. When you stop off at roadside diners, you really do not know what to expect. What did you think of the food in there?
Legitimate.
It was in the upper echelon of roadside diner food, in my opinion. Huge thumbs up. After eating that pie, I could really use a cup of coffee. You think there's a Starbucks or maybe a Dunkin' Donuts in this neck of the woods? We are virtually in the middle of nowhere. We've passed nothing that resembles civilization in about 15 to 20 miles. We just crossed over into Louisiana. There was no sign. There was a pole that someone had stolen the sign off of, but there was no sign. That is the Louisiana State Penitentiary. And just outside is the museum and a random ATM. We have some of the confiscated inmate weapons in this case. Some brass knuckles. Believe it or not, this is a homemade shotgun. Some of these are very frightening. You do not want to deal with someone with these. And someone even fashioned a throwing star. At first glance, you wouldn't think this is dangerous, but check out the protruding metal object at the end of that toothbrush. This is what a ball and chain looks like. 50 pounds. In the 1970s, these medieval-looking axes were taken from inmates. My question is, how the heck did they even get in there to begin with? Wow, look at this. Gruesome Gertie, the electric chair. And it says, do not climb over. Look at this. They have the sponge that goes around the forehead and the head. Oh my gosh. Looks like he's incarcerated. He escaped. He escaped. Seeing a deer mounted on the wall is pretty normal, and even a fish. What is more unusual than that is a room full of every possible creature known to man in a painted wall, festooning every corner. What in the heck am I witnessing right now? Even this dog coyote animal thing is very bewildered. As fascinating as the museum was, what's even more interesting is right outside the parking lot is the actual prison. Look at that razor wire. That's tough to get in and out of. You do not want to mess with that stuff. Got this coffee from McDonald's. They've put out their holiday cups, it looks like. But I want you to check out this old motel sign. How awesome is that vintage thing? Super cool. That massive building you see straight ahead is the tallest Capitol building in the US and the tallest building anywhere in Louisiana. Flamingos! And overlooking this monumental structure is the man himself, Huey Long. And not only is this an impressive pillar, but it's also his tombstone. He was the former governor of Louisiana and then became a senator, and it was in the run for the presidency when he was assassinated. Inside this very building. And his final resting place is right there. And the rumor is the bullet holes from the gunfire are in the lobby of the courthouse. It's very impressive inside here and very large. The ceilings are extremely tall. And this is the spot. This is where it happened. Right here. And there's even a placard stating the fact on the wall. And check it out. Look at this. There is a bullet hole right there in that pillar. And look at this mark on the wall. That looks like that could have possibly been one also. And here is a depiction of the event. Check out the circular thing here in the photo on the ground. I'm standing on that circle currently. It's hard to say, but even that could have been a bullet hole in the ground. There's also another story of a bomb that went off and exploded a pencil stuck in the roof. And it's still there. And you have to look very close for it. But the tiles and lights on the roof, there is one that is illuminated continuously as a memorial to that event. Use yours and zoom in on it. You can see it. Yeah, look at it right there. It's like a chunk of wood embedded in the light fixture area. Right there in the corner of the screen. It's pretty wild, right up there. Yeah. There's a secondary piece of wood, a shard of wood, wedged in the side of that pillar if you look really closely. Wow, so there's two of them. Quite the story here in Baton Rouge. It's a pretty sweet Coca-Cola sign. Look at that sunset. Fire red. Pretty beautiful. And with that, vlog over.